An Education School Law Guide. Chapter 1. Education Law/School Law. Education Law/School Law. educationlaw.org, Education Law Association. nsba.org/services/council-school-attorneys-cosa. 1teachinglaw.com. ilcpa.org, Education Law Center and the Pennsylvania School Reform Network. chronicle.com/indepth/legal, The Chronicle of Higher Education, the Law in Academia. ed.sc.gov/agency/offices/ssys/safe_schools/sdfsc/consent to search signs.html. myfloridalegal.com, School Search Manual, legal guidelines for student searches at public schools. rbs2.com/edumal.hdm, educational malpractice. vtedu/education/specialid/index.spacer.org, Parent Advocacy Coalition for Educational Rights. pedlaw.html, Special Education Law. rightslaw.com, Special Education Law. schooltechleadership.org/school law blogs. Education Law Organization websites. educationlaw.org, Education Law Association, a non-profit, non-advocacy organization open to anyone interested in education law. Promotes interest in and understanding of the legal framework of education and the rights of students, parents, school boards, and school employees. nacua.org, National Association of College and University Attorneys, NACUA, educates attorneys and administrators to the nature of campus legal issues and provides continuing legal education of University Counsel. nsba.org/COSA, NSBA Council of School Attorneys provides information and assistance to attorneys who represent public school districts. Center for Law and Education. 197, Friend St. 9th FL. Boston, Massachusetts 02114-1802. 617-371-1166. Fax 617-371-1155. clueb.org. National Association of College and University Attorneys. 1 DuPont Circle. Number 620. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-833-8390. nacua.org. Represents about 1,200 colleges and more than 600 universities. National Organization on Legal Problems of Education. 913-273-3550. Special Education Law Info. addo.buffalo.edu/registered/at basics/foundation/law/specialid.php. cde.state.co.us/spedlaw. cec.sped.org. doe.mass.edu/sped/laws.html, Massachusetts. dphilpottlaw.com, Special Education Law Indiana. ed.gov/offices/osers/idea2, Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, IDEA. ed.sc.edu/spedlaw/lawpage.htm. fedaweb.com/law.htm. findarticles.com, Does Brown v. Board of Education play a prominent role in special education law? frishmanfaber.com, Special Education Law Attorneys, New York. harborhouselaw.com, 877-529-4332, Special Ed. Legal Info. icaz.org, Indiana Council of Administrators of Special Education, contains links to laws. iser.com/caadvocacy.html, Special Education Advocacy, Special Needs, Education Law. lawsforspecialeducation.com. ldonline.org/questions/specialid. megalaw.com/top/specialid.php. michigan.gov/mde, Michigan Department of Education. openhere.com/edu/special-edu/laws. Specialidlaw.blogs.com. Specialidlaw.com Massachusetts. Specialiducatianlaw.net, California Special Education Law Attorney. Specialiducatianlawfirm.com, Indiana. vtedu/education/specialid/index.spla.html, Special Education Law. Rightslaw.com. Education lawyers from dmos.dp.org/society/law/services/lawyers_an_law_firms/education_America/United_States. Click on a U.S. state. Special education attorneys/special education lawyers. emersondickman.org. hinkle1.com, Hinkle, Fingles, and Pryor, New Jersey. pecdadvocacy.com Patricia E. Kefalas Dudek and Associates, me. SPECIAL-ED-LAW.com, Susan and Greenwald, New Jersey. Free Education Law Database. nsba.org/services/counsel-attorneys-courses-legal-research-database. Homeschool laws by state. Try this formula. slota.org/laws/default.asp, state equals slota.org/laws/default.asp, state equals alhaslota.org/laws/default.asp, state equals aslota.org/laws/default.asp, state equals gu. Find these state education laws at your local libraries. Alabama. Alabama Code 16-28-3, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Alaska. Alaska Statutes 14-30.010 and 14:45-120, a, some kind of testing standards. Arizona. Arizona Reverend Statute, 15-802-15-805 and 15-745, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Arkansas. Arkansas Statute N. 6-18-201 and 6-15-201, some kind of testing standards. California. California Education Code, 48,222, 48,224 and 51,745, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Colorado. Colorado Reverend Statute 2233-104 and 2233-104.5, some kind of testing standards. Connecticut. Connecticut General Statutes N 10-184, some kind of testing standards. D.C. Washington. D.C. Code 31-401 and 402, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Delaware. Delaware Code 14-2702 and 14-2703, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Florida. Florida State N.232.01, some kind of testing standards. Georgia. Official Code of Georgia N 20-2-690, some kind of testing standards. Hawaii. Hawaii Rev. STAT 298-9, some kind of testing standards. Idaho. Idaho Code 33-202, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Illinois. Illinois Rev. Stat. Chapter 122, Paragraph 26-1, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Indiana. Indiana Stat. N 20-8.1-3-17 and 20-8.1-334, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Iowa. Iowa Code N 299A.1, some kind of testing standards. Kansas. Kansas State N 72-1111-72-1113, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Kentucky. Kentucky Rev. STAT 159-010 to 159.990, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Louisiana. Louisiana Rev. Stat 17:221, A, and 17.236, some kind of testing standards. Maine. Maine Rev. Stat. AN 20A5001A, some kind of testing standards. Maryland. N. Code of Maryland, Chapter 22, 7-301, A. Massachusetts. Massachusetts General Law 76-1, no state law, could be local law about testing. Michigan. SB 679, Amendment A, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Minnesota. Minnesota Stat. AN 120.101 and 127.20, some kind of testing standards. Mississippi. Mississippi Code Annals 37-13-91, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Missouri. Annals Missouri STAT 167-031 and 167-042, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Montana. Montana Code AN 20-5-102 and 20-5-109, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Nebraska. Nebraska Rev. STAT 79-201, 79-1701, 85-607, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Nevada. Nevada Rev. STAT 392.070, some kind of testing standards. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Rev. Stat. AN 193.1 and 193A, some kind of testing standards. New Jersey. New Jersey Stat. AN 18A.38-25, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. New Mexico. New Mexico Stat. AN 21-1-2.1 and 22-1-2, some kind of testing standards. New York. New York Education Law 3204, 3205, 3210, 3212, some kind of testing standards. North Carolina. NC Gen. STAT 115C 378, 115C 547, 115C 563 to 115C 565, some kind of testing standards. North Dakota. NDCENT Code 1534.1-03 and 15.34.1-04, some kind of testing standards. Ohio. Ohio Rev. Code 330134-04, 3321.03 and 3321.04, some kind of testing standards. Oklahoma. OK Stat. AN, Title 70, 10-105, A, and B, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Oregon. Oregon Rev. Stat 339.010, 339.030 and 339.035, some kind of testing standards. Pennsylvania. PA Stat. AN. Title 24, 13-1326 and 13-1327, some kind of testing standards. Rhode Island. RI General Law 16-19-1, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. South Carolina. Code of Laws of SC AN 59-65-10 and subsections 40, 45, and 47, some kind of testing standards. South Dakota. SD Comp. Law 13-27-2, 13-27-3, and 49-6-3001, some kind of testing standards. Tennessee. TN code N49-6-3001 and 3050, some kind of testing standards. Texas. TX education code 4.25, 21.032 through 21.040, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Utah. UT code N. 53A11-1012, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Vermont. VT Stat. N. Title 16, 1121, 16, 11, 166b, some kind of testing standards. Virginia. VA code 22.1 to 254.1, some kind of testing standards. Washington. WA Rev. Code 28A.200.228A.225.10, some kind of testing standards. West Virginia. WV 18-18-1, some kind of testing standards. Wisconsin. WI Stat. N 118.15 and 118.165, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Wyoming. WYSTAT 21-4-101. American Samoa. As code 16.0302 to 0308, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Guam. Guam code N. Title 17, 6101 to 6109, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Northern Marianas. Mariana code 3 to 1141, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Puerto Rico. PR Laws N. Title 18, Sections 71 to 81, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Virgin Islands. 6 Code N. Title 17, 81 to 97, no state testing standard but check with the local school board. Officials meet with homeschooled children twice a year.